Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another podcast of Is This Really Your Job? Hit it and piss us apart.
So, as you can tell, we forgot about that clip, because I definitely did, and Guy was like, yeah, don't worry, mate, we've got the start sorted already. And Greg...
I can't remember. I was too drunk. Can't remember.
Mate, I was slaughtered that night. Jesus.
Where was it? Where was it?
You've not even seen it.
Oh,
so
I've got a story to tell
you go, ding, 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 and you go, welcome, and then it pans to me, and I go, I'm absolutely fucked.
No.
And then there's me go.
It's at the start.
No. Yeah.
It's at the start of the after party.
I should have won a bag of
Oh, what drama.
Yeah, before it got busy.
I've got a funny story about that quickly. I'm just going to jump straight into it because it's really relevant. So I was playing Townhouse this week, and I saw the bouncer. I went, "You right, mate? How you doing?" He went, "Yeah." He went, "You're in a lot better state last time I saw you, pal." And I went, "Well, I can't remember. I don't know when I saw you." And he went,
from which occasion?
"Yeah." He went, "You and those two lads behind the DJ booth were having a hell of a night in drama when I last saw you." And I went, "What?" He went, "Are you out with your mates?" So I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "We just played some Sunday service," and he was just like, "Yeah, lad, saw you then." He was like, "Your eyes were rolling in the back of your head. You could hardly string a sentence together. You three lads were bouncing in the DJ booth just like kids in the back."
That's Sunday
funny.
service for you, that.
And I was like, "Sorry about that."
That was a very fun night.
The fact that
What a night.
UGC got smashed
What?
Yeah.
and FaceTimed my mum.
That too.
Oh, I like the acoustics.
Yeah.
Acoustics in here.
Yeah. But as you can see, summer has arrived.
Summer.
Don't jinx it. Do not jinx it.
Halfway through spring.
Halfway through spring,
Yeah.
and we thought, instead of sitting in my front room, it's nice weather, let's bring it outside to the makeshift sofa.
Love it.
No, I love that. I think
This
this
is
is
a great
This
vibe.
is really good.
Yeah, I had a little
comfy.
snooze on here
Yeah.
yesterday. It was lovely.
I don't blame you, mate. It's
That's why I burnt my head and I've got hat on.
Oh, right. Got hats on.
But obviously, it's going to be a bit of a little bit different. This one, obviously, I've got no decks. Greggy boy's got no drums, and Sexy boy's got no flute to my G's. So there's no instruments, there's no decks. We're just going to do a few little questions.
Bit of a chat.
Yeah, a little bit of a chat, bit more of a chill one. Don't worry, we are going to come back. The normal quiz format is coming back. We just thought we'd have a chill.
It's not going anywhere.
This one, enjoy the weather.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy
I
the
think-
chat.
I think the thing is, right, we say, is this really your job? But no one... There's a lot of people that watch this, right? There's a lot more people than I thought watched this podcast, actually.
Yeah, there's a few, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just going to be my mum.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
no,
Which
it's
you do,
quite
thanks,
a few
Mum.
people. Quite a few people. Anyway, this is the kind of how we actually got into doing this as a job, and how this is actually and really our jobs.
Yes.
Yeah, like career paths. Today we're gonna talk about like career paths and what sort of happened, different avenues going through, what sort of worked, what didn't work, etc.
We're still going to have a laugh, don't we?
Absolutely.
yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
some
Some
cracking stories.
Yeah, I know.
But
We've got to make
um,
them slightly PG, though.
yes.
Yeah, there's some that we can't share.
Yes.
Gotta be careful.
We might have to make a few cuts on this one. We'll see how carried away we get.
Oh, yeah.
And also, I've got a good few questions. I've got a really good few questions at the end, which is exciting.
Yeah.
So we're just gonna go ahead and just chat nonsense. So if you're driving, or you're just hanging your washer now, or you're just laying in bed fantasizing over all three of us, just listen to us, and enjoy
Where
it.
did that come from?
Oh,
Don't
like it. It's true, though. Yeah, this is more of a chill one. It's not going to be, oh my God, yeah, I know this one. I can't believe Will didn't get that within 3 seconds, which my mum tells me every single time. She says, I
And
can't
why
believe you
hasn't
didn't get that
GC won
straight.
one yet?
Well,
That's still. What episode is this?
Hopefully.
11, 12.
12?
12.
GC,
12.
how many have you won?
Sweet nil pois.
Sweet fuck oh. But, so anyway, should we get off of it, Greggy?
Yeah. Story time, or we'll go into story time later?
Well.
Go.
I'm going to do a story time.
I think you should.
Yes. Would you like to?
I'm
you
up.
go.
We've had a big week. Will, over to you.
We have. Wait there, I'm just going to... GC. Yeah.
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 Look at that, the sun's come out and everything.
Yes.
Oh,
Sparkly,
we love
sparkly.
it.
Yes, but as you can
Suit
tell
you.
by my fiance's finger, I got engaged last week.
Who's that? Your what?
What is it?
Your fiance, sir. Suit you.
These two boys were there when I asked.
We were.
It was a very special moment. We went away for my 30th, which is another thing. Yeah, I'm 30 now.
Yep.
I said to
The
Greg,
oldest of the pod.
Yeah. You're 30
yeah.
soon, and you said, "What's it like?" And I said, "You start aching a bit."
He's only been 30 a week.
Everything's
Oh, dear.
starting to
A
go
week today.
downhill.
A week today, you
Yeah, a
were
week
30?
today.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
30 in a week. But anyway, so we were all up there. We'd had a lovely time up in Lake District. And then, just thought, what better time? This boy was involved quite heavily. We had a little key word, didn't we?
Yeah, Fanta.
Fanta.
That was the name for the ring. I gotta say,
Is that why?
that's what the Fanta was, but we couldn't get you in on it because Freya was with you whenever we were around. So,
No,
and
no,
Alex
do you know
was in
what?
the car,
No,
and
but-
Alex was sussing it.
No, but-
I nearly let the ball slip.
Yeah.
It was funny though because I was drinking Fanta. I brought Fanta, so
Yeah.
that's why I was confused. But like, I was like getting you a can of Fanta, like.
It
Yeah.
was
So
the-
for everyone that
Yes,
wasn't
sir.
there, I said to Greg, I looked him in the eyes. I didn't ask him to marry me, obviously. But I
Shame,
said,
I was
Greg,
gutted.
it's time. Get me the Fanta out your van.
Because basically, I gotta give you credit here, Will, because you know a lot of people plan their engagement and they go for it and all that, but not many people pack a car for camping with their to-be fiance, and then they don't propose for like 3 days, and the ring is in the car, and like you know what
Yeah,
it's
you
like
did
if you're
well there.
campers.
Yeah.
Like you go in and out of each other's stuff all the time. Like, oh, where's this? Where's that? Oh, let's go in that bag. The stress level.
Yeah. Well, we went up on Friday night. Freya was like, "Oh, you look a bit cold. I'll get your hoodie out your bag." Me, couple of beers deep, completely. It was before I gave it to you.
Yeah.
It was in my bag at the bottom.
And she's
Yeah.
going to get the hoodie.
And she went to get the hoodie. Something clicked in my head. I was like, "Whoa!" She was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "It's not in there, love."
thinking, get your hands out
The
my
amount of
bag.
squeaky bum times I've had.
Yeah.
And like you said, Freya actually said to Greg a few times before, he's just being really moody at the minute. I don't know.
Is he
what-
all right? Is he all right?
Is
Is he alright? Yeah.
And I was saying, honestly, I'm getting it the same because I'm turning 30, darling. It's just because, you know, there's a lot on your mind. You know, you get like a little bit of a semi-midlife
He's almost
crisis.
reached menopause a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's like, you know, it's your head plays games with you.
Yeah.
It's all about that. Don't worry about
Little
him.
did she
Bear
know.
with him.
It was because there was a bloody diamond in my
Yeah.
bag. But it
So
all
funny.
came off
No, you
well,
played
didn't
a
it?
blinder.
Thank
Do you want-
you.
Would you like me to play the
Yeah, the people of the pod can a brief clip. They don't need to hear what I said because I
No,
started
no.
blubbing.
just
Obviously.
yeah?
But yeah, GC. As you can see, I was. It was a beautiful moment. Everybody had hopefully a great time.
It was amazing.
Oh, mate, what a day!
yeah.
What a day. I loved
bloody
it.
day.
What
What
a-
a day.
What a day!
What a day!
It was amazing.
So that's my story time really.
fantastic.
I can't really
That's
top
flipping
that.
excellent,
No matter what gig I do. Sorry if you've got a big gig coming up and I'm playing it, but nothing will top that for me. Being in my favourite place with my missus and asking her out with my best mates around, and she said, "Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It went really well.
it went real." And
It was
we
lovely.
had
No, it did.
we
It
had a
was such a
party
lovely
that
day.
night, didn't we?
You very big party. I felt awful the next day. You left
I
left,
Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday, I was not very pretty, was I? I was in my van and I didn't feel very good.
No,
It wasn't good. It
didn't
wasn't
help
good.
that I woke everyone up at 7:30.
Yeah, I didn't
Did
like
ya?
that bit either.
Yeah, I
yeah.
woke everyone up. I went, right, everyone,
Banging on the
bacon
van
butty's time.
door.
Bacon
Yeah.
butty's time.
We
I
had a show quiz. Me and Abby were doing the quiz thing. We got dressed. I was wearing a suit in a full
You
camp.
look great in the suit.
Thank
you were
you.
doing a
You
stellar
did.
job.
Stop it.
I love the dance routine. The whole, what was it, a leapfrog or whatever?
Yeah, leapfrog.
Oh, yeah.
We did the lift and everything. It was very impressive.
It was so
That's-
good.
We were practicing that on the campsite.
Were you?
Yeah,
is that
like
where you
round the
went?
back.
Is
yeah,
that where you went?
Somebody was out there cooking their sausages, and me and Abby were leapfrogging each other next to the van.
Oh dear.
But yeah, so that it was a great weekend last weekend. Obviously, we only got back Saturday. The Saturday after, and then obviously I played a gig for a footballer. Can't really say much more than that.
Yeah.
At his house, and it was great. On Sunday, did a full day session there, and then came back, and now it's Monday, Tuesday, and we're back into the swing of things.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Meetings tomorrow, though.
Very nice.
It feels just like a bit... I don't really want to go back to work yet.
Yeah, I've had that week this week. Got back from the trip with you on Tuesday, and then I gigged.
Shit me, that sun's on, innit?
Yeah, it's warm.
lovely.
It's lovely.
Spring has sprung.
I'm in black.
I gigged Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
You did 3 on Sunday.
Yeah, it was quite heavy. And then obviously I've got a story to say about Sunday night. And then I went out for drinks yesterday, so I'm a little bit tender today. Because I had a bit of a drinky poo.
You had a little...
last night.
Just a little.
You had a nice time.
Just a little one. It was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had quite a few drinky poos last night.
Good.
So go on, anyway, this story, we know the story because
Yeah, we do.
I had to tell you straight away.
we all
It
had
was-
our phone call on the way home from our gigs on
It was
Sunday.
quite funny, really, because he texted the group and he went, "Lads, I've got possibly the best story I've ever had in my entire life," and we were kind of like, "Oh, that's piqued our interest."
I honestly thought that someone famous had come to a gig.
Yeah.
Like, not
Or-
just like...
That's
or
good.
something
What did you
like-
think it was? Yeah, I like this.
I
Brown.
thought, obviously, with yourself being a drummer,
Yeah.
I thought,
It was like
shit,
Dave Grohl or
he's done a
something.
gig for
Ah,
somebody
right.
who's like
a hero.
icon.
Yeah.
Like silly icon. I know he's dead, but for me it'd be like if Frankie Knuckles turned up to a gig of mine and he
Yeah.
went back
You'd be
to
like,
back.
oh my god, I was playing,
Because-
looked up and saw it.
Yeah, because you were there in the group chat and you're like, boys, we need to get a call. And I was like,
Yeah.
shit.
I was
Something's
like-
either gone down, or something's obviously happened that's mega.
Well, I said, within being professional for 10 years, I have never experienced anything like this before.
Yeah,
That's
that was
what I
it.
said.
Yeah.
And we've
you
seen
two
some
were
shit.
like, I finished the
When
gig
you-
at 12,
when you
half 12, I'll
called
be on
me,
the phone, I'll be on
he
the phone.
he called me on the way back and he just went, "Yeah, this is not like
Are you ready?
I was gobsmacked.
Go on,
Here we
fire-
go on.
Set the scene. Where are you?
So, I am playing in the Wirral across from Liverpool. It's like 30-minute drive from me. I turn up and they're playing like pop country music. It was like Stick Season was on. Banger, by the way.
Season of the Sticks.
And I was like, oh, it's a bit different, you know, like it's 9:30, like we're playing 10 till 12. I'm playing percussion with a DJ and sax player. And won't mention any of their names for this because I don't want to mention any names. All fantastic people, all great cause.
Can we call the DJ Bob?
Yeah, DJ Bob.
DJ Bob.
Right?
DJ Bob.
Cool. So,
Saxophone Steve.
yeah, sound. That'll do. DJ Bob and saxophone Steve. So, they're basically saying bride and groom wanted upbeat pop country music until 10 o'clock, and at 10 o'clock they're going to take it to house music, and that's when we jump on with percussion and sax and it's going to go off. I was like, great. So we get at 10 o'clock, it goes off, dance floor is absolutely rammed, it's absolutely fantastic, really good atmosphere, bride and groom loving it, it's all going fantastically well. And just towards the end, this elderly gentleman comes straight up to the DJ, into the DJ booth, and as I would with the DJ, I think nothing of it. I finished the set, and he says, oh, that guy was like, you need to turn this shit off now. You need to turn this off. Change the song.
Ooh.
By the way, it's a full packed dance floor.
It's popping off.
Once
Yeah,
again, I'm going to make that point. Do you remember what we said before about the ice cream man and that? How you speak to everyone else in their industry, but
Yeah.
you speak to
Yeah.
us. Like, DJ Bob, I got to take my hats off to him because he dealt with this really well. So that was
Good.
the first time. I was like, right, fair enough. Second time was about 10 minutes later. He was like, come up to me and went, play some neo soul, play some Motown, he wants this, telling him what to do his job. And he was like, mate, I'm sorry, this is what the bride and groom wanted at their wedding. I don't even know exactly who you are. I'm not gonna, go against what my clients have asked to do.
Good move,
10
that,
minutes
by the
later.
way.
That's professional. You got to do
You
that. haven't
explained it. It's not your
Yeah,
day.
yeah.
It's their day. They want this, and it's going off.
Yeah, it's a very happy time, right?
Very much so.
So he's doing everything right, DJ Bob. Bloke comes up again in the DJ booth. Now, it's very personal, that. It's like when you go up to a work office and you're like, it's like me standing on the desk.
Yeah.
It's like, you can talk over the DJ booth. You don't have to be in it. It's
Yeah.
like getting in someone's car.
Sitting on someone's lap.
It's a little
Yeah.
sacred
Yeah.
place, a DJ booth.
You
It is, yeah.
You respect the area. Anyway, comes up a third time within about half an hour,
Oh
and he
dear.
says, mate, if you don't turn this shit off, you're not getting paid tonight. You're not getting paid. And DJ Bob turns around and says, mate, I've already been paid.
Yeah.
I've just counted the cash in the car park. And he was like, "Well, I'm not having this. I'm not having this." Stormed off. We're thinking, there's always one.
There's
No, it
always
was like
one.
the one where you had to mute and tell them to
yeah.
stop being
Yeah,
a
yeah,
sausage. So it's always one. Anyway, this is where it gets absolutely mental now. So we go back on, me and Saxy Steve, and we're playing. It's going off, and the DJ says, "Greggy's coming over again." And I went, "What?" So next thing you know, I look over. He's come. He's got in the DJ booth. He's grabbed DJ Bob by the arm, and his right hand is flinching, ready to line up to crack him. I mean, he's like literally picking out his spot. So he's grabbed it by the arm aggressively, and it's like he's gonna punch the DJ.
He's going to clock Bob.
And he's like, turn it off, turn it off, turn it off. So I jump over the DJ decks. I'm like, whoa, mate, whoa, what are you doing? I was like, what are you doing? This is not what happens here.
No.
And he's like, mate, turn this shit off. I've warned him. So I have to get in between them. The DJ then, obviously, rightly so, mutes the music, everything off. The crowd, which he's got like 150, 120 on the dance floor, are all like, what are you doing? At that moment,
Have they not noticed this guy giving Bob...
because they're having
shit?
such a good time. Because it's going off.
Oh, so this guy's solely just being a belly.
Well, he's like snuck in the back into the DJ booth. This isn't happening in front. This is happening behind the speakers. Behind. He's in the booth.
Oh.
So it's half of them can't even see that he's in the booth.
Jesus.
You know what it's like. It's tucked away, isn't it?
Can you reveal... So what? He was late 60s, wasn't he? You said you thought about late 60s.
So I was like, right, okay, so what is going on? So we've calmed him down. We've then discovered that the poor bride, bless her, has fallen over, and I think she's like broke her ankle as well, or her ankle. So it's all going off. The wedding is like so stressful, and I just feel sorry for him. But we've also got to look after DJ Bob, because this bloke's just basically physically attacked him whilst doing his job. Next thing you know, so we find out that the guy who did this was the father of the bride.
Ooh.
The father of the bride attacked the DJ.
That's not okay.
It was
okay.
It was 10:30, 11 at this point.
Oh.
It's not
The
good.
father of the bride. So that's why he used a line of, you're not getting paid.
But
Little does he know
Just-
she's already paid him.
Like, you don't wreck
It was
your own
horrendous.
daughter's wedding now, do you?
He came back as well and had another pop at DJ Bop. He wanted to go round 2, and then they had to escort him out the building. And he basically got kicked out of his own daughter's wedding, mate.
Oh, my
Jesus.
God.
It was heartbreaking, really.
Yeah.
It was really awful.
And the worst thing is, did the bride know about any of this? Or she
No,
just sat
because
on a
she's-
chair thinking, I broke my ankle?
Yeah, she basically, I think she fell just before he came up the last time to it. And then they said, oh, well, he was doing it because the bride was injured. I was like, he didn't even know the bride was injured. When she fell over, he was in the DJ booth. So it wasn't to do with turn the music down, the bride's injured, because the bride didn't want the music down because she didn't want attention brought to her.
So when you're in the car park, just so I've got the full scene, where's Angry Dad?
So we've then had to evacuate the wedding, and we're in the car park. Yeah, we're in the car park, and the
All of you?
DJ Bob's, me, DJ Bob, and saxophone Steve are in the car park, and DJ Bob's put 1 hour mix on at 50% volume.
At least he
calm
left
it down.
music on.
Yeah, no, DJ Bob did everything perfect.
Well done, DJ Bob.
Well
Fantastic.
done, DJ
We know who DJ
Absolutely.
Bob is. Well done, mate.
He was a top bloke. He dealt with it all. You, to be fair to you, when I spoke to you, you were like, mate, I wouldn't have gone back in.
No, I'd have left. Someone tries to assault him, and that's it.
Twice.
I'm packing
I
up.
would
Twice.
have gone as well, to be fair.
Squaring up twice, mate. The anxiety was through the roof.
Yeah, he had a...
But
It
the
was,
thing
mate,
is,
he was grabbing him. The thing was, it wasn't even like squaring up. You know when you're like, oh, do you want some? I'll square up. Bit silly. He had hold of his arm like that, and he was frailing his right arm, ready to land one.
The thing is, right,
And we were jumping in front and just trying to distract him because he was drunk, but
Yeah,
there's no
but
excuse to
there's-
that.
there's-
You'd get arrested if you did that to a copper, wouldn't you?
You get arrested if you do that to anybody.
in whatever job.
That's what I mean. You
whatever
have to be a
job.
copper.
The thing is, though, right, credit where credit's due. In thank God you were there.
Yeah, well done,
That's what
Greggy.
DJ
Sort
Bob
it
said
out
that. He
and,
said, I really appreciate you being there because
you can handle yourself. Like, not
Yeah.
saying that
Yeah, but
DJ
if you,
Bob
if
couldn't,
you weren't there...
but you're very good with your words.
Yeah, power in numbers as well. And I was the distraction. I was
Yeah.
the sort of, hang on, you're acting out of order, but you don't personally hate me because I don't think the guy even knew who I was.
Yeah.
He was just so fixated on DJ Bob ruining his night, even though his daughter,
Oh.
and the whole party were having a lovely time.
It
Yeah,
sounds like
that's
it was
okay.
going off as well.
It was going off. I've got a video, I think. I'll send you it.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, yeah.
I think I've got a video.
We'll
it was
put
brilliant.
it in here.
It was a really good, it was a really good gig. And then it just
Really
went wrong. So we're in the car park. Me, DJ Bob, saxophone Steve, and the son of the groom comes out and is like, I'm really, really sorry. Starts saying like how he respects us, or he was a nice bloke actually, really nice, but I felt sorry for him. And he knew a few of our people that we've worked with actually.
Our circles.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
knew he was genuine, like he was saying the right things. And then the car goes past and it's the dad in the car, like he's in the back of a police car, and he's like, his face is like facing out towards the window, and he's still having a pop at DJ Bob
Jesus.
on the way out.
Even though he's
Really?
just
On
been...
the way out, like not like ridiculous, but it was the whole.
As if he was going to court.
He's there he is.
Just-
I've ruined my, like blaming him as he's been escorted. Like family friends must have said, look, you've had too many drinks. You've basically, the bar manager also was fantastic, and he said, look, we can't really have him in. It's really difficult because it's the father of the bride.
Yeah.
And when he was leaving, he clocked us in the car park, and he was still like, there they are. Look at them. They've
The
ruined
thing
their
is,
night.
I think the moral
And they
of-
were all begging us to go back on.
I think the moral of the story is, right, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter what age you are, please, please, please don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Please
and also,
don't be a
like,
dick.
He's going to wake up. He's fixated in his... Obviously, no matter what's happened in his head, Bob has ruined his daughter's
Yeah.
day, when in fact it's him that's ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, like off the record, can you imagine the conversation between him and his wife in the morning?
Yeah.
Can you imagine? I'd love to be a fly on that wall.
Yeah. Imagine that.
Imagine waking up thinking, "Oh, I've had too many, John Smiths last night."
What? John Smith's. What happened last night? Why have I come?
Bit of a
early?
blur after half past 10.
Why is my daughter angry with me?
I don't think you can't come back from that.
Well, the thing is, what
You've
happened,
ruined your
mate,
daughter's wedding
was
day.
you physically assaulted the DJ twice and had to get escorted out the building because the party stopped for 40 minutes.
Because
the
of
party got stopped from prime time,
Yeah.
11:15 till
Yeah.
11:30.
That's peak time. That.
Peak
That is peak
time.
time.
Everyone's having a lovely time,
Yeah.
and it all
you
went off.
ruined it. You absolute bellend.
It was intense, mate.
That is not okay.
It was. I've
No,
never
it's
seen
really
anything
not.
like it in my life. I felt so sorry. The groom was such a lovely bloke. He was such a lovely bloke as well.
The thing is though, like you people obviously see the good gigs that we do, but no
Yeah.
one, we don't, for obvious reasons, we don't show like the questionable gigs or the what's the politically
I
correct way
might
of
start
saying it?
doing this, by the way. If you're a sausage on a gig, I'm just going to film you and put you
You're
on
gonna
Instagram.
Name and
The shame.
shame.
Sausage of the month.
Sausage of the month.
We can do sausage of the weekend, which, to be
Ooh,
fair,
yeah.
touch wood, I'm very fortunate. I don't get that many sausages because when I do, I'm really out.
I've
them.
got a fair few recently.
Oh, I've never experienced a sausage like it, mate. He was a bloody
we
jumbo
could
this
do it.
week.
We
Mate, he was
could
a
do it
frankfurter.
at the end, like the end of every month podcast.
Ooh.
Sausage of the month. We'll
We
blur
all
the
have a
face.
nominee
Blow-
each.
yeah, blow the
Yeah.
face.
So
Yeah.
a nominee each.
Yeah.
Sausage of,
Everyone.
sausage of
People
the
might
month.
be like, I want to be sausage of the month.
No,
I
No,
hope
they don't.
not.
You don't want to be a
do that.
sausage.
No,
Not cool.
not
It's
cool.
it's like the one down from the wooden spoon in it.
Yeah, you just a wooden spoon.
One down from the wooden spoon.
So anyway, so
Go on,
That was
GC.
that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
GC over to you.
that
So-
was eventful.
I'd because it was
Oh,
bank
yes.
holiday. We haven't filmed one of these in a while, right? So I'm facing this way because I don't.
I'm
want
getting the
sun.
raise, boys.
You're getting the raise. I don't want the raise anyway.
Ride him in
Lovely.
D.
I had
Give me
a
the
couple of
D.
weddings. I did my brunches. I did a new. Well, it's not new, but I did a bar in Manchester, which was really cool.
Where'd you play him? Oh, yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
Where did you play just for the people?
Menagerie in
Oh, suit you,
Manchester.
sir.
Very nice.
Um,
We did that last bank holiday
we did
together.
do that last bank
Yeah,
holiday,
little
which was
afternoon brunch on a Sunday.
Yeah. But they asked me back, and I said yes, and a few more dates coming in there, so that was really nice.
Good.
Credit to you, sir. You still know how to play that fluty flute.
Oh, yeah, appreciate that, and I hope I still can. Yeah, at least.
Absolutely. You're
So do I,
smashing it.
mate. We've got gigs for the next 2 years
Yeah,
in the diary.
I
Don't
know.
start
This
giving
is very
up, lad.
true. This is very true. So,
Imagine
If I
if
still can. We got
he wakes
one
up
bit.
one morning, boys, I don't
I
know.
forgot.
how to- and I'd be
Can't
like,
do anymore.
fuck.
yeah.
We'd be in deep problems.
We would. You keep playing that flute of yours.
So yeah, it was good. It was a hefty old weekend, but no stories like yours.
Wow, I've honestly, like I said, 10 years in the industry,
Mate,
I've
no
never
one's
had a
ever
story like
topping
that.
that story.
No,
It's
I
so
don't think
intense,
you can you?
And I
mean-
wish I'd had footage of it because you just wouldn't believe it. The guy ended up going to the DJ 5 times. He grabbed him 2 or 3 times and was waving his fists around trying to
Not-
land one twice. 5 times.
Not because of like was. Well, we're not gonna show clips of the actual video.
No.
But was it a bit rough? Were they slightly on the rougher side of people?
Yeah, it was questionable. There
Questionable,
was, as entertainers, we can see everything, right?
Yeah, we've
it's
got
like
prime
teachers
spot.
at the front of a classroom.
Do you know
Now,
what-
there was more going on than booze.
Do you know what
That's
I
what
would
I'm gonna say.
absolutely-
Colombian marching powder.
There was very obvious actions happening
Which, to be fair,
that
right?
I've never done after a beer.
Whatever floats your boat. We're not
Not
bothered.
anti-
No, we'll never judge.
But when you are a sausage because of it,
Yeah.
actually,
we'll
to be
judge.
fair, I don't know if the father of the groom was.
Well, he's been on the John Smiths, mate. That's enough
The
to
John
make anyone
Smith.
Smith.
happy.
Why?
John Smith since 2 o'clock, mate. 11:15.
That's heavy on your stomach.
Yeah,
that.
that'll
That's
be
like
heavy,
Guinness level.
Mate, I'm
Oh,
gonna,
yeah.
for the record, I'm just gonna, I don't know their names. I'm gonna call his wife Deirdre. I reckon Deirdre ate him
Had
for
some
breakfast
words.
the next morning.
wow.
Deirdre's had
Deirdre.
his pants down and he was spanked on the kitchen table.
The big man wasn't the big man the next morning. I'm
wasn't.
telling you now, Deirdre would have given him
Yeah.
fight. Can you imagine?
Rightfully so, by the
Can
way.
you imagine? Mate, imagine if that was your missus. Like, imagine
mate.
overweight. How would you deal with that? Being the partner
I
to
know my
someone
Alex,
who's done that.
My
They would
Alex
kill
would
me.
my Alex would have me for tea.
Yeah, mate.
She would.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The fiance would
Um,
have me bollocks off.
I'll tell you
And
what.
to
I
be
would
fair,
love-
and if it was me, I'm single. Your missus would have me and all.
I think
Yeah,
we
They
would,
would,
yeah.
your
You would be
missus
on
would
the
be like,
sausage.
she would
that's
have
right.
Greg,
words
you
with
coming
you.
round for breakfast? You coming round for an absolute bollocking,
Yeah.
mate?
You a wooden spoon.
Yeah.
yeah, you would be. Yeah,
They would. Yeah.
I would. You know what? I really. This has to be a thing. I'd love to do like. Our lives are so. Hear me out here, right? Hear me out here.
Okay.
You know the office, the US office. You know how
Yeah.
random shit goes on in the US
Yeah.
office. It's obviously it's all scripted and stuff like that. The stories, some of the stories that we come out with, like you very rightly said, you wouldn't believe it unless you were there.
Yeah, it's not a very plain Jane life, this.
No,
No.
but it happens on the weekly.
Yeah.
So I would love to do some sort of documentary or TV series that actually showcases the sort of stuff that
Should we get a
up
video
to.
crew to follow us around?
I think we really
Oh,
should.
every
you know.
time you play your bongies in the Wirral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
for him
get
to
a
come
full
back.
crew.
Yeah.
But also
Mate, if he
that-
watches this
You
podcast,
imagine-
he's probably going to be knocking at my door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you
Probably.
shouldn't have been
He won't be.
sausage and
He won't
such a
be.
lad.
Probably
You ruined
doesn't
your
have
daughter's
to watch
wedding.
YouTube, mate. But you know.
Well, we'll soon find out.
He's
Yeah.
in pub. Oh, it's
It
back
could be-
out. Sun's
we
out.
could be on Netflix before you know it. How about that?
That would be fun. Any
Anyway.
sponsorship, more than welcome.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right, so shall
Anyway,
I move on to
let's
some
get-
of the
let-
questions?
Get on
Go
with
on.
some questions.
I'm just enjoying
and,
the raise, boys. You ask away.
So we're going to be talking about like
Lovely, that.
the music, where we are today and how we got there, just sort of stuff. I was listening to I don't know if we're allowed to name drop, so I was listening to a podcast of a very famous, very tall England international footballer who's retired.
Peter Crouch.
Well, yeah, I was going to say.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, yeah, well, I wasn't sure if we could name, but
No, we
and
can,
we
yeah.
were talking about like how his father had an influence on the game and stuff like that, and I thought this was really like good considering you were playing for famous footballer this week, and it's just like you know when you watch documentaries. Now, I'm not saying I'm in the same park as these people. I'm just
Not
saying
yet.
like dedication
Not yet.
vibe. So you know when you watch like the Robbie Williams documentary
Yeah.
Very
and you
good.
watch the footballing documentaries,
Never seen
and
that.
then they talk about like the commitment or the F1 and they're like commitment,
Yeah, yeah.
doing this, doing that, and people are like, oh my god, and I'm like, I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Totally, I totally
Oh,
relate.
yeah.
I think
to
we've all
all of
been
that.
called weird at some point for
I was-
loving it too much.
I was the geeky
Yeah.
music kid at school.
But we all was.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and
all was.
it's like I can relate to the.
I-
You miss the birthdays, you miss the weddings, you miss
Yeah.
funerals. You know, when particularly me, when I'm on a theatre contract, you know, I just hope no one dies whilst I'm on the show because it's going to be a bloody nightmare.
Yeah.
It's going to be a nightmare. Not obviously, I don't want them to die anyway, but
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean?
yeah. You can't get out of it, and this is the thing, right? Sometimes people are, just get cover on the gig. You can't just get
Not all of
cover
them.
on the gig.
So I want to touch up on that. For William's 30th and engagement weekend,
Yeah,
I had a gig booked in on a Saturday, and he told me ahead of time what the plans were, and thank God he did, right? Because I had 2 gigs booked in on that Saturday. One of them was easily coverable. The second one, I called up, no word of a lie, 15 saxophone players that I know. 15. 1-5. Every single one of them were booked.
yeah.
Because let's face
Big-
it, if you ain't got a gig on a Saturday,
What are you doing?
Yeah, that ain't-
unless
is
you
this
take it
really
out.
your job?
Is this really your job?
Yeah. But all 15 of them were busy. And in the
Yeah.
end, I had to go back to the event planner and be like, I've genuinely, really, really tried here. She managed to sort it, thank God.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad. But,
Yeah, but you got to see me get engaged, so.
oh, no, well, I did.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have missed that for the world.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously.
But it's one of the things, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was good though.
So my question,
Go on,
and we're
sorry,
going to
sir.
start off with Guy.
Hello.
What got you into music? Why did it become the sax guy? What was the first start of music for you?
So, flipping heck. Right.
It's a good one,
We're
isn't
going way back.
It
Right.
is a good one. We don't have to go full autobiography. We're just
No.
paraphrasing.
Yeah.
I'll shorten it. But when I was so I grew up abroad, and when I came back, went to a sort of I went to little school, whatever, and they were all sort of doing the
Wait there, sorry, pause. A little school.
Little school.
You went to fucking Stowe, you posh
yeah
bastard.
before I went to
Oh, right.
Prime-
I was gonna
You're
say.
on about primary school. You're on about young
sort
age.
of like middle school.
So
it
for
middle
us,
school?
secondary school.
For, us,
We-
for me, it was
Yeah.
for me it was a prep school.
Yes, yeah.
what?
Yeah.
Prep school, yeah. Anyway, right. Anyway.
It's a different
in the
world.
Posh
I left
boys
there
have
at
different
13.
educational
Yeah, it's a
systems.
different world. You
Yeah.
have your primary school,
Primary,
your
secondary.
middle school, then you go secondary. So you have like a middle school's like your prep before you do secondary. It's the same
Anyway,
years.
can I get back to the story? now?
Yeah, sorry,
So
mate.
anyway, so I was in school.
Different
I was
world,
about
innit?
10
Posh
years
bastard.
old, right? And they all said, his teacher came around and said, "Oh, you can learn a musical instrument. You get like 1 free lesson or something to see how, like a taster." Anyway, I wanted to learn the drums because I just wanted to learn the drums. Anyway, I did it, and my granddad, he was a drummer back in the day.
Nice.
Had a little band, and so that was it. So I bought a drum kit, and like you were saying before, I
I
was
didn't know he'd played the drums till
Yeah.
you told me the other month.
You've got technically more grades on drums.
I'm
than me.
nowhere near as good as Greg, but
Stop it.
at one
Yeah,
point, we would have
say it
been.
again.
At one point, when we were probably like 16, 17, we probably would have been close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny,
Clicky
innit?
Bobs.
Yeah.
You learn shit
So
every day.
anyway, so I bought a drum kit and stuff. Anyway, learned how to play the drums, was really musical, and then I was like, I saw we had like a little music competition at school, and I saw a guy in the eldest year do a sax solo, and I was like, flipping heck, I want to learn that next. So I learned saxophone alongside drums. Anyway, when I eventually ended up going to boarding school, which was secondary school, I got a music scholarship to that school, but primarily on sax because they didn't think I was a drummer. So I got taught all this sax stuff and not a lot of drums. So drums kind of faded away. Sax kind of took over, and then it was like in the jazz band, the wind band, and all
nice.
the orchestra and all the rest of it. And then
Which one did you prefer?
drums
at that
the time.
point?
Drums at the time, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. But then when I was applying, so then comes sort of like GCSE level when I was choosing my A levels, said I wanted to do music because that was what I was really passionate about. And then when I was looking at universities, I was like, I really want to do music at university. And the head of music at the boarding school at the time was like, we was going through all the sort of universities, and we were looking at Royal Academy of Music, Royal College, all like the classical ones. but I was no way doing classical. I wanted to do jazz. So I looked at all of the jazz courses and I was like, okay, jazz isn't for
See,
me.
this makes sense now to me. Because you are, even though you are sick at everything, there is a little jazzy twinge to your play.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, that was classically trained, went to jazz, ended up in pop.
Yeah, nice.
You never lose the little jazz
No,
lick or
it's
that
it's
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 a different
little
tone. There's a little extra that, yeah.
It's like a little little
Yeah.
scat, a little extra scat in there.
It's just a little
You know what I mean.
So basically, I was looking at like university. So I looked at Leeds College of Music. I looked at Edinburgh, Napier. I looked at Goldsmiths in London, and then this little university called the Liverpool Institute for Performing Arts came around. And
how is that in terms of like? See, I didn't do the music.
Well,
in terms of like ranking.
I'll get on to that, right? So my head of music at the time, and I'll never forget it, he said you could try LIPA, Paul McCartney's school, and he said, but you'll never get in there. You will never get in there. I said, why? He said, it's more competitive than Oxford and Cambridge.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've got a stat for you.
Yeah.
Go on.
So when we went, how many
Yeah.
sax players were on the year for you? Because
So it's two of us.
right, so there was 4 drummers in our year, because that's when me and GC met.
Yeah.
There was 4 places on the course. So there's 50 places on the course.
Yeah.
4 of them were drummers, and there was 4,000 auditions.
Yeah.
So we was
Jesus.
there was 2 or 3, I think. 'Cause there was you, Phil, James Brecken
No,
also.
but he
played.
was keys.
Right, so yeah,
Yeah,
2.
two.
And
Two of
4
us.
drummers. And there was 4,000 international applicants
Yeah.
in our year for that course of 50.
And we
All
know
different instruments.
we-
But
This is
even
why
then-
it's your job, boys.
Yeah.
yeah,
you got
but
the
from a young
smart.
age, you got to remember though, you're 19. I was 19. You were 18.
Yeah.
Like I honestly still to this day, because obviously the drummer I am now compared to the drummer I was, I still think that was just somebody upstairs pulling the ropes.
There were
mate, for
some
me.
people there.
I was lucky to get in.
Yeah.
LIPA was the first time that I went and I played music with people. Because you got to remember, not to jump in
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
story, was so young. I came away and I remember FaceTiming my mum and dad, obviously because it was 3 hours away, Liverpool and Oxford. And I said, oh my God, there are so many special talents here. It was the first time where I'd heard music and recording and just practicing
Like-minded
and gone,
people, innit?
oh my God, but like, how am I even listening to you? Like, I'd pay 50 quid to watch you sing.
Yeah.
I was surrounded, we were
Special
surrounded by
people.
it.
It was
Yeah.
kind of crazy, really, because so I ended up going for the audition, ended up getting it, and there were people there who we met in the first week saying, "Oh my God, I finally got in," because that was their 3rd or 4th time
Attempt,
applying to try to get in and finally got in. So we were like, "Oh my God,
Shit,
we've
man.
hit the jackpot here." And I think as well, you may have found this as well. Everyone was from like 4 corners of the country, right? Yeah, obviously Greg and I were kind of a special case because we both are from like Oxfordshire, right? Which you know is pretty mad when you think about it.
Yeah.
But everyone there was so good, and I mean, like you say, incredibly special. That we were kind of, I was both intimidated,
Yes.
kind of really mesmerized by the fact that I was around like-minded people, and the fact was everybody got on because we was all like-minded.
And we had
Everyone
like
got on.
Canadians, Norwegians, Americans. My housemate was half Egyptian, half German. He brought in the Egyptian flute. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
The education was beautiful.
It was
because there was
amazing. Yeah.
So many nationalities. South Korean. I could go on and on and on. It was absolutely incredible, wasn't it?
So the point is, right, so obviously I met Greg at LIPA, and we was in bands and stuff, and at the time we was in a little band, and I was there like, I want to be in a band. I don't want to play sax. I don't want to do this. I want to play guitar, because I was playing guitar at the time.
Man of many instruments, aren't you, sir?
All of them, mate.
Yeah.
Guy is the
Jesus.
person where you have any instrument in the room, give him 5 minutes, he'll get about 4 tunes out of it, no matter what it was.
You didn't know that. You didn't know that, did you?
Even if it was an instrument they hadn't played before, give them bagpipes, mate. I bet you can get a tune within 3 minutes.
I knew you'd played the drums because Greggy told me. But even then, we've been friends for 12 years and I only found that out last month. I just thought you were always a saxophone.
No, guitar, bass, keys.
Yeah, it's everything.
Nice music, man.
So then, through Lipper, I started doing a lot more sax, a lot more horn work, and like horn sections and bands and stuff because that
got his horn out.
Yeah. Haven't heard that one before. And then I ended up, so then I ended up working in a bar in Liverpool that was just opening. Actually, it was a club, 3-story club. It was called Level.
Yeah,
we all know Level.
Do you know what the weird thing is? Sorry to interrupt on there. The year that opened, I played that for freshers. So you'd have been working it as I was DJing it.
And wouldn't have known.
No one know. No.
Probably thought, who's that posh bastard who just served me a beer?
And I was probably in there drunk trying to get a free drink from it dancing to your music.
So anyway, I had this bar job at Level, just trying to get a bit of extra cash, and then one of the girls that I was working with tagged me in a status on Facebook because I told them I was a musician, I played sax and all the rest of it. Tagged me in a status saying, looking for a sax player for tonight. So, and at the time at Lipper you have different courses. So there's like a management course that go on to do A&R stuff at labels and TV and all the rest
producers.
Of it. So my friend Dan Cranes, if you're watching, he was my manager at the time. So I got in, so I told, because we had to have a manager. So I said to him, can you sort this out? Anyway, true to his word, a couple hours later, I had a gig that night at this bar called Secret, where I met Lee Morrison.
Mr. Muggsy.
And they loved me that much, they didn't want me to leave. So I kind of fell into doing the club stuff that way. Did about 3 months at Secret, jacked in the bar job at Level. And then from Secret, people were booking me for privates. And then I ended up meeting, through my sax teacher at Lipper, Tom DeLips.
Oh, TDL. What a boy.
And then from
we'll
there...
have to get him on it one of these, by the way.
Yeah, we do.
Love to.
Yeah.
I'd love to get Tom on.
I'm meeting him.
Yeah. You can
meeting him next week, so we'll have a chat.
So I met Tom DeLips, and then I ended up joining a agency for however many years, which I'm not with anymore. And
you've left the dark side.
Yeah. And but no, it was great, and that's how I sort of fell into doing this, and that's how. But I think,
to be fair, that's how we all properly met.
The agency,
yeah. And then obviously we've all spread our wings and flown nest and stuff like that. And we're all doing our
we're moving new chapters and all that.
New chapters in it, but obviously that's where we first all met. Like I remember me.
Well, you were my first gig.
Yeah. Delamere, wasn't it?
Delamere.
Yeah, Delamere.
You never forget your first, boys and girls. You don't.
I remember you go like thinking you were like flicking dog's bollocks there. Do you know what I mean?
He's outing you.
Yeah.
He was back in the day.
I love
my
that.
first gig with Will, I was like, I was in awe because he was, puffing his chest out.
When I was like 24, 25, I was a very big-headed person. I'll admit it, I was a bit of a twat. I've calmed down a lot.
You?
Me? You? Never.
Calm down.
And then obviously the rest is then history, isn't it? And then gigging.
And then I got Greg on.
Yeah.
I got Greg onto the books.
I remember. I don't know why I remember your first press shots coming through. I remember seeing your first press shots.
I don't know, when I had a very questionable haircut.
Yeah.
Well, I still got one, but
yeah, it was a very, very tight t-shirt.
Yeah, I was very skinny
like
then
the
as well.
You was skinny Greg.
Very skinny Greg. That was
that's
before I got jacked full time. Please know that was sarcastic to an extent. Anyway,
so that's how I that's how I am
journey.
here today. Really, that's my musical
journey.
Right. I mean, there's more stuff.
It's very interesting the fact that you started as a drummer, then went to saxophone because you saw somebody at middle school.
Yeah.
Then you went to. It's just funny how
just the evolution
you think,
of
right?
it.
If your saxophone teacher didn't introduce you to TDL,
Yeah.
we won't be sat here.
No.
What? There's a question for you to spin off from that.
Go on.
We can ask everybody.
Yeah.
If you weren't a saxophonist, what would you be? Say for
I've had this
example,
question
you'd
before.
finished uni with
Yeah.
your degree, you're flying, you're happy.
Yeah.
However, unfortunately,
Wanted a
it's
career
not
change.
worked out, and you're gone. I gave it a shot, which is more than everyone does. And you go, right, I'm gonna have to go get a job. Brackets jobless.
There's two ways I could have gone about this. I would have either. Now this really shows the sort of where I went to school and what have you. I would have probably worked with my dad
Yeah.
in finance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have followed in his footsteps in a way. Or if I'm thinking about a sort of semi-current passion, would have been a chef.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I would have seen that.
Yeah, I could have seen you.
I
doing
could
that.
see the chef.
Yeah, would have been a
GC
chef.
cooks a mean breakfast. I look forward to your breakfast at your house every time I wake up at yours.
Well, when I'm in the new gaff, we'll have tea.
Yeah,
have a little
lovely.
sleepover.
Got the penny and everything. He's bloody good.
Nice.
Right.
So yeah, anyway, that's my
That was
story.
very interesting. That I've learned some stuff there.
Yeah.
Over
nice.
to you, Mr. Maiden.
Yes. Go on,
Why,
William.
what got you into music? What started DJing life? Who created
I
Will
know
Maiden?
some of this. Go on.
My mum.
DJ, sorry.
Me
But
mum.
yeah, still Julie.
Yeah, my
Go
mother. My
on,
mother got me
Jules.
into music. She didn't realise it, but obviously she loved. I called my mum a disco diva. So anything disco,
Love
my
that.
mum loved. But she loved like the normal stuff. But then she listened to like the B-sides and the album cuts, and
Really?
rather than just the singles. So yeah, I
Love
got
that.
exposed to good music early, and then obviously I've got the older brothers. My eldest brother listened to trance, so that's how I got into trance music. And then the next one was Jack. He got me into like R&B, but like the proper stuff, like the late 90s, early 2000s, Ashanti vibe and
Nice.
Bobby Valentino and everything like that, which is why I love that. And then me next brother Joe, he went through a few phases. He went through a donk phase, which
Yeah.
is why I like donk.
I was about to say, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he flipped. He went from a chav to then between year 8 and year 9 in high school went indie. Grew his hair.
Oh,
Like
love
Panic at the
that.
Disco.
No,
and stuff.
no, not emo.
Was it like that?
Like Arctic Monkeys, Kooks,
Yeah,
So like that?
Cortinas. Yeah,
Not like
yeah.
that,
No,
like that.
it wasn't cover your face. It was more
Like
like
Greg's
a
hair
bit like
back
a
in the
moped.
day.
Moped.
Yeah.
There you go,
So
I'm still rocking it. I will not grow up.
I will never.
My
grow
name's
up.
Peter Pan.
So yeah, that was my very, very early music influences. And then I remember, obviously finished school. I was very good at maths, so I got an A in that, but I barely scraped into sixth form. I then quit sixth form after 2 months because I thought it was a load of shite.
Really?
I then worked at KFC for 10 months straight, full time.
Wow.
And I said to my dad, I went, I'm not enjoying this. He went, well, what do you want to be? And I said, I want to be a DJ. And he looked at me and he went, well, okay. Bit different, because obviously being so good at maths.
It's not traditional.
Well, that,
Is
but
it?
also my dad owned quite a successful accountancy firm, so he had it in his head, oh, he's good at maths, he'll
following
Take-
my
take my
footsteps. on the
Similar
steps.
what you just
Yeah.
said.
Which is what, to answer that other question, if I weren't a DJ, I'd have been an accountant like my dad.
Yeah.
But I said to him, I went, Dad, I want to be a DJ. So I quit KFC. I got my holiday pay, bought a set of decks, and he said to me, you've got 18 months. No, not 18 months. 9 months from now. I'll support you financially. I'll cover you for everything. But if you've not made any money out of this in 9 months, then I want you to be an accountant, because obviously when you're a certain age, you can get apprenticeships and whatever.
That's very fair.
It's a
I
good
think.
deal, that.
That was a very good deal.
Yeah, it was a good deal actually. And then basically 8 months, 25 days in, got my first gig.
Yeah.
So I was 5 days before the threshold. Because I
Lovely.
remember him saying to
Wow.
me, got 5 days left, lad. And I went, Dad, got myself a gig. It was 30 quid and it was my mate's 18th, but I couldn't give a shit.
The
No,
fact that you
it
actually
works.
got a paid gig,
I
you
got
know.
a paid gig.
Yeah. And what were you,
First
19?
I was 18.
18.
Wow.
Yeah.
Love that.
So that was 12, no, 17. It's 13 years ago.
Wow.
So yeah, that was
Wow.
how that started, and then obviously just kept going and going, and I got my first gig in Manchester was actually through one of my eldest brother Tom's one of his students because he used to run a night at Atlas Bar, which is still going, by the way. So
Really?
big shout out to Danny.
That's sick.
That's really
Yeah.
cool.
That's blooming hard work. That is.
Yeah, it is. And you know what the best thing was? First ever gig, I'm there because like, the DJ booth was above the bar, so you had to go in the bar, then
Yeah.
climb up a ladder, which was
Hang
Atlas Bar. Yeah.
Right.
And
still
you know where
ladder?
Deansgate Locks is?
Yeah.
On the corner there. It's
Oh,
been
near
rebuilt.
Revs.
Yeah, opposite Revs is a strip club. Well, I don't know if it is a strip club still, but there's
Oh,
a club there,
cool.
and then it's on the corner.
Nice.
Yeah, super cool. But I
Wow.
remember DJing it was house music, but I was playing house music I thought was house music because we were all a little bit naive back then.
Yeah.
And I remember I had full family affair. Mum and dad came.
Oh, I love
All
that.
my brothers
mate.
Tempters the club.
came to the club.
Oh.
They were the only people in the club because obviously I was doing a warm-up set. But then, mate, I remember that day I bought a new outfit. I was like, yeah.
Well, you
would,
it's big
you
day.
would,
Yeah, big day.
Big day.
Yeah, my mum was like, we've got to support Will on his first gig.
I love that.
And she still does to this day.
Yes, my mum
Yeah.
still comes to
She
me
came
gigs.
the other day.
Yeah, she does. So,
Great
by the
to
way,
see
if you
Jules.
booked me for a wedding and a random lady turns up, don't worry, it's my mum. She'll say she's my manager, but she just loves to have a little boogie behind the decks for
She
me.
has come to a wedding.
Love
She's
that.
been there on a
Julie,
wedding.
Come to it,
keep
yeah.
it up, Julie.
Love that
Julie's top
so
form.
much.
And then, yeah, obviously, I was living in Blackpool at the time. Just started doing gigs around town. Started doing a few nights. Played at the Syndicate before it shut, which was obviously the
Nice.
biggest club in the UK. That was
That's cool.
mega. Yeah, it was for an under-18s night. I played a donk. Played donk.
Of course you did.
Yeah,
course
love a
you
bit
did.
of ronky donk.
Dirty
dunk. Yeah, and then
Yeah,
obviously just kept DJing. I then got approached by an agency to join and I set up it with them. So I did that and I was with them for, I don't know, 10
while.
years. Yeah, I did lots of cool stuff, met a lot of cool people, made some great friendships like Tom and everyone like that. Learned a lot of lessons since come on my own. Made like a bit of a... Oh, yeah, you two, obviously.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Yeah, we said it in your bit that I met
Yeah,
you
true,
two.
true.
Met these two Wallies, who are now my best mates. And then, yeah, obviously, recently, I've stood away from it, and then I'm doing my own little thing.
Flying, mate.
Yeah.
And
You're flying.
I am flying
You're
There
flying.
you are.
to Frankfurt on Thursday. 'Cause
Oh,
I've got
yeah.
a gig there.
And then where you going the week
It's
after?
Tuesday today.
The week after, I'm in Prague.
Oh, so you are flying a lot.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. 305.
But yeah, it's been a hell of a journey, and I always said I was going to quit when I'm 30.
Yeah,
That
I
ain't
remember
gonna
you
happen.
say. I
Yeah.
remember having
No
that
way.
When I was like
conversation with
22,
you.
mate, I'm having
we was
far
all-
too much fun doing
We
this.
was all. I think you was as well. We were a bit like, are you sure about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because on the current path, it was one of them where obviously I wasn't with Freya. It was one of them
No, you
where
weren't, actually.
the person I was with at the time was very much like 9 to 5 settled down, and it was one of them where it's like,
Yes.
oh, do you not want to have Friday nights and Saturday nights with me? No, love, I want to be out on the town having a great time, enjoying
100%.
partying. Well, providing the
Oh,
party.
working, yeah, working. But what a lovely job.
Yeah, so
Mate,
that's
what a journey, man. You went from KFC to
KFC.
a completely strong, independent...
KFC to Krakow.
Soul
KFC to Krakow. What a line! That's going to be the
That's
title.
the
of
title,
podcast.
yeah.
KFC
Yeah.
to
KFC
Krakow.
to Krakow.
Well made.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But yeah, go on then.
Me.
I want to hear your sexy story, sexy pants.
You're very lucky. I know
I'm
your
super
backstory.
lucky.
You are very
I
lucky.
grew up.
Lucky.
There's a photo I'm going to send GC to put in the edit.
Yeah.
Because I found it the other day. I went home and there's a photo of me. I won't. It takes time, but yeah, of me on my dad's drum kit. So I grew up with my dad as a drummer.
Very good drummers are Trev,
He's,
isn't he?
he's a fantastic.
Oh,
He's
he's
still
great.
fantastic drummer. 62. He's
Oh,
still
yeah.
gigging. He's
Big
going on
up,
tour
Trev.
this year. He's going on
You
tour
are?
this year. Have I not told you? No, I haven't
What?
told
You
you.
haven't told
I
me.
told you he's going on tour.
Where?
He's been asked to join a band called Slide, who are a Slaves tribute act, and they play around all the butlins around the UK. So
Yes, Trev!
Dad's playing like long party weekends at butlins and all that. With,
Oh my
with
God.
his band.
Trev's going to have
Been
such a
signed
good
up. They
time.
pick him up in the tour van, and he goes off.
Oh, I love that
Yeah.
so much.
God,
He's on
Trevor.
tour.
I
My
fucking
dad's
love
on
your
tour
mum and
this
dad.
year. 62. Mum, I think Mum's looking forward to having the weekend
Little
to
quiet
herself. She's like, off you pop, go with the boys, I'll have the girls round. So I grew up with that. So like my mum was a self-employed hairdresser. My dad was a musician. And it was all very much like I always got told, you need to follow your dreams because you can always make money out of following your dreams. It wasn't a case of, well, maybe you should look into being something else, or if you're a young creative and if your family don't necessarily understand, it can be quite hard to have the conversation of you can turn this into a living. So it was really, I was so blessed to have actually, that wasn't a conversation, that was encouragement from them to me. Yeah. So from a young age, it was always like, enjoy it, love it, but you can end up having this wonderful lifestyle. And I'm always very lucky. I've always said, like, I feel extremely lucky of where I am now. And I am living the dream that I had when I was like 8 years old.
We all are.
Yeah, no, and that how privileged is that? Like, honestly, I'm like, I'm waiting for the luck to run out, boys. Honestly,
nah, mate, you're too good amazing. For that.
So, started learning drums. Luckily, there was always a drum kit set up in my house, so my neighbours fucking loved me because
mine did too. To be fair.
And it was like my dad's old kit. And then he got me one. He bought me like a little German kit. It was like a 3/4 size drum kit. It was really cute. I had a Mickey Mouse drum kit actually when I was 2.
Nice.
And my dad thought, oh, hang on, we're onto something here, because at 2 years old, and he'd put on the radio whilst he was cooking, and he could hear this little drum kit in the living room, and it was in time.
Nice.
And it was me in time on my Mickey Mouse drum kit.
How does that not surprise me?
And he was like, hang on a minute, and he'd watch, and then there's old footage of me in the living room and the cat's behind me like flinching on the sofa and I'm like absolutely belting this Mickey Mouse drum kit with my bowl haircut, having the best. That was my first gig. So I was very lucky. And then I went to so primary school, it wasn't really a thing. Primary school was, I was drumming in my bedroom to songs, and I had the wildest collection of music. I remember being like 9 years old, obsessed with Eminem, and I was drumming to Eminem, and then I'd flip it over and it would be like Arctic Monkeys or an AC/DC, who I'm going to see this summer, so it's going to be a big moment, and like stuff like that. So drumming was never like a thing until I was probably about 10, 12, around that age, and we did our first concert at the church.
Did you ever have drum lessons, or was it just taught from your dad?
That's a very good point, actually.
It's a very good question. So I will get to that.
Okay.
At 12 years old, my dad had just taught me at the time, and I did my first gig in the church, and I was so nervous, and I got ill, and I had a really nervous tummy, and you know what I'm like with my tummy.
Yeah.
And I nearly crapped myself in the church, and to this day, I still get the willies about that church. St Egbert's Church in Bicester, mate. I'm not anti-churches. That one. If you said I've got a gig there, I'd be like, oh, I don't know.
PTSD.
Still no, mate. Still no. And I played like this jazz gig with school, and then I got put into the band, the jazz gig, like the jazz band at secondary school, and I was with all the older kids. So I was like year 7, year 8, and we toured Belgium, we toured Germany, we did all this like jazz concerts for the youth jazz bands in Oxfordshire, and I was a baby, mate, but I was a cocky little baby, and like playing with like 14, 15-year-old musicians.
But you thought you were the boy, weren't you?
I was the boy.
Well, to be fair, mate, in
I
year
was trying
7
to flirt with all the older girls on the clarinet. I was like, hello,
on the clarinet.
I was like, hello, sweetheart. I was a right
you
little...
took that flute, girl.
Right sausage, I was. And then when I got to 15, 16... I was playing in bands. We were playing like punk rock bands, and this was a time where it was really hard for me and my dad, because you know when you're 15, 16 and you're coming off that age of your changing, your body, your hormones are sort of changing, you're sort of trying to think you're the man of the house and you're not, and all that. Well, imagine that sort of conflict and that respect you need to have for your dad, and it's both drumming. So like me and my dad never ever hardly argue ever. That period of my life between 15 and 17, we'd never argue anything to do with drums. We'd argue because I thought I knew better, and I didn't.
Yeah.
Dad had blooming 30 years of experience as a professional drummer.
To be fair though, when
and
you're
I
that
thought
age,
I knew better.
You do know better than everybody.
Everything.
But this is where I got to praise my parents, right? Because they knew that this sort of fracas was damaging my potential. So my dad, who is a pro drummer, took me to another professional drummer and paid that professional drummer to teach his son.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because it wasn't working, me and him, because of my age.
Fair
He
play.
paid
Fair play for realising.
some other guy to teach me. But what was quite naughty was he would take me to lesson and he didn't tell the other drummer that my dad was a drummer, so me and my dad kind of got a lesson for free. bit naughty.
Every day's a school
Yeah,
day.
my dad was like, oh, actually, I might practice that, Phil. I haven't thought about that one. So I did that, and then I joined college, and college was the most amazing thing. Oxford College, big up to Nick.
Did you do music at college?
Yeah, straight into them. Well, I did A levels, hated them.
Yeah.
I was awful. I kept falling out with the music teacher. I didn't agree with it. It was all theory based. I had my car. I was just starting to gig in pubs illegally at 17.
Can I just jump on that 2 secs?
Din-dins.
Din-dins is nearly ready. Yeah.
Nearly.
Alright, no worries.
We're on Greggy's story and then we're wrapped up, love.
Yeah. A-level music's hard, and it is very theory based, and it's
For a drummer as well, I was
Oh,
struggling.
yeah.
And I was just starting to gig, and I was just getting paid like you. 17, It was like a 30, 50 quidder, and I was sort of thinking I had my car, and I was just doing a few pub gigs, and sort of building into this world of, I really like this.
Yeah.
I really like this, and with my mates, I'm having 3 lemonades, playing for 3 hours, getting 50 quid.
You're tilled, mate, at 17. You're rich, mate.
Yeah, I know.
Probably
Yeah,
costing
I
you
remember.
30
And I was
quid in
working
fuel.
at Bose as well, selling.
Oh,
so I was
yeah.
I was
Bristol
earning like
Village.
500 quid a month, mate.
nice.
You're, mate, at 17, you're rich.
Rich
Yeah.
boy at the time. It was working. Then when I was at college, I was playing all sorts of instruments because we had a music room at home. So I was very similar to the guy. Like, I picked up different instruments, and I was drumming in this band. You get put in a band at college, and then one of the girls came in and she was crying, and I went, "What's up?" And she said, "I'm just about to go on a UK tour with my band, and the bass player's pulled out." And I was like, "I can play bass." She was like, "Can you?" And I was like, "Yeah, I can play the bass." She was like, "Do you not know this story?"
Shit, me, I'm learning
Do you
so
not- do you
much
not know
about
this?
you.
She said,
don't know
I
this
said,
story.
I can play the bass. And she was like, "Really?" And I was like, yeah. She was like, "We're doing auditions. Oh my God, it would be a really good fit. Do you mind? Like, can you come and audition?" I was like, yeah. Turn up my polo. I couldn't play the bass. I learned her songs on the bass. So I went home, got the songs, sat in the music room with my dad for like 20 hours in 2 days, and learn where that note was, I couldn't play the bass. I could play her songs on the bass.
Yeah.
Did the audition, got the job. 2 weeks later, touring around the UK at O2 Academies.
Yeah.
Played Newcastle, Sheffield. We did Rock City, Nottingham, all over Glasgow. We were
That was pretty
I
special.
was in the tour van. I was 19, 18. I was out getting drunk. I thought I was Justin Bieber, mate. I thought I'd made it. I remember.
You look like Justin Bieber.
I did look like. I looked like. What was it? Justin Bieber off. What's it called? The dodgy website. You know when you get stuff that's fake.
Wish.
Wish. I was Wish Justin Bieber.
You were.
That's exactly what I was. And I played the part. And that was, so I did that, and I toured with that band. We were called Orchard Hill, and it was an amazing experience, and it taught me so much. And then at college, it got to the point where we would audition for unis, and I've been gigging and obviously like getting money and touring, and I was like feeling really good about my playing on bass and drums. And the teacher sat us all down and talked us through our options and where we should go. And he went, "Lip," and he went, "Waste of a choice, because you'll never get in.
Same vibe.
Yeah.
Same
Waste
vibe,
of a choice. Can't touch
Yeah,
Lipper.
yeah,
You ain't gonna
yeah.
get into Lipper. So
Yeah.
don't waste your choices. Go to other unis." And I just thought, fuck off. I'm having what's your first
Mate,
choice, Greg? And I
I've
looked at him. I was like, Lipper.
I've just come off a UK tour, mate, playing bass, and
Yeah.
I'm going to go
I'm
for
the Wish
fucking
Justin
Lip
Bieber, and I will do what I want, mate. Calm down.
Who are you, mate?
I was a proper.
Who are you?
I was very self-confident as a kid. I feel like I've been less confident as I've got older, but as a young musician,
Oh, I remember.
I was very self. But I think that sink or swim. Sometimes you need that.
Oh, yeah.
You need that inner. And I was very confident. I was like, no.
Yeah.
And then but which was funny, he was very negative about this, and he like ripped up my personal statement. He was a real arse, if I'm honest.
What a knob.
And then I got the audition, and he became my best mate.
Well, they always do, don't they?
I became his star pupil. Oh, my Greg. Oh, I've been teaching Greg. I was like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh, you cheeky git. So I auditioned at Lipper. I had an interview with Eddie London, who is
China Crisis.
China Crisis, the band. They've sold over 7 million albums of their own music. I didn't know it was.
Nope.
I did the audition with him.
Me, that.
He's a big boy, right?
Yeah.
And I had him hanging out the window at the end of the audition, showing me where the Beatles museum was, because my dad was downstairs and we were desperate to get there after the audition. Didn't have a clue he was. Hanging out the window of the building,
I went to
7
the
million
Beatles Museum
albums.
as well.
Yeah.
So
Just you directing you and Trevor where to go for the Beatles
didn't know he was. Cheers, mate. Oh, nice one. Thanks for the audition.
Yeah, Sam, mate.
And he was like just about to go on a tour around America the week after he auditioned me. I had no idea. Oh, lucky I got in. And then,
look at that.
so
But
then
obviously you did
uni
get
was
in.
amazing. Yeah, and uni was amazing. It was just a talent, and that's where I met Guy. And
Well,
I was just
even before. Actually, we met each other before we even
Online.
got to uni.
yeah,
that sounds weird.
Facebook, not dating website.
No,
Facebook groups were a thing when you went to
Facebook
uni.
group.
Yeah.
'Cause we got put in a group for our accommodation because uni doesn't have on-site accommodation, so you have to go to like third-party accommodation.
Yeah.
And when you get put into that, you get put into a Facebook group so you can figure out who's in what flat before you go. So Greg had a studio flat in the same block as my flat. So the first night I arrived, he popped up going, "Oh, hi, I'm Greg." But we'd already been speaking, been like trading songs and sort of like
just getting to know each
other. Yeah.
online mates. really.
friends.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
In a nice way.
Yeah, slightly
yeah.
having a bit of a cock off at the same time. It's always very funny and intimidating when you get
it was
to uni.
a little bit, wasn't it?
Yeah, like, nicely. And uni was incredible. Got to tour, got to work, got to learn it. And what was great was my first professional session drummer job. I don't know if you know this one. Was I was just finishing my dissertation in third year, and Eddie London, the guy who I had hanging out the window, said, "The drummer has broken her wrist. Can you do this little gig for me next week? It's at Wirral Rocks. It's at Birkenhead Tranmere Rovers Stadium, 15,000 capacity. And he's just a little gig down the road. 15 songs. Can you learn them this week?" I had my dissertation to do, and I also couldn't tell him that I still hadn't listened to any of his music.
Mate, what's this?
Yeah.
Shit.
And I played, and Will Young was there, and it was like I think Queen of the Stone Age or something.
Yeah.
They were there. It was a big thing. A girl band were there. Yeah,
I've heard of them.
big bands.
Will
And
Young.
it was the first time I went to load out my gear, and security were like, "No, we'll carry this for you," and they carried my whole drum kit through the stadium.
That's cool.
That was the proper moment for me.
I
was
bet
like,
you
"Oh,
walked
mate,
into
it's
uni
cool."
the next day, balls swinging by
Yeah,
your
it
knees.
was-
Yeah, just done
Yeah, I
this
nearly
gig.
failed my dissertation because of it, but I didn't care. It was
Hey,
great.
I remember you did as well because I remember we handed in our dissertations at the same time.
Yeah, and I was. You were like, "How long you been in the library?" He
No,
came in
he-
to hand it in. I've been there 6 hours finishing off.
And he got something wrong, so I said, "Mate, you need to do this, and this." And he went,
Oh.
"Oh shit!" So I helped him.
Yeah, he got,
Dying minutes.
I think I had 10 minutes to hand it in.
Here's
Yeah.
one. So obviously I did music production. You both did music. What do you write your dissertation on?
Music production.
Did you?
You did music production?
Mine was how to sustain a career as a full-time session drummer.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
was really lucky because I emailed all the top-end drummers in the
You got some really
country.
good. You got
Ash
some
Stone,
really good,
who's
yeah.
recorded Adele, toured with like Bruce Springsteen, everything. He got back to. He did the voice. He was emailing me,
Nice.
and then I later on went on to work with him on an advert.
Yeah.
The
I
advert
remember.
Oh, yeah, that was a cool
It was
thing, that.
amazing.
Mate, I'd so my dissertation was bedroom producers versus real producers, like who's doing better.
Yeah.
And I interviewed Lovely Laura.
Oh,
That's mad, isn't it?
nice. Yeah, she's
So
nice.
I got her. But it's just one of them,
mine was about how clubs are dying and the bar industry is going to take over.
Well, you weren't wrong.
So I think I'm not being
Wow.
funny. How many clubs are shut and how many? Everything's a bar now.
Where's your
Yeah.
crystal ball? Can
Yeah,
I?
about to
crystal
say,
ball.
Everything does dining now. It's not just a club anymore, is it?
No, it's
I don't know any clubs really.
No,
Uh,
we don't really.
what's maybe
sound
like Level?
Mansion.
Mansion. Oh,
yeah, but I bet
Mansion's
you any
good.
money Level do like a brunch or something.
Do you reckon like
No
bottomless?
way,
I don't think
no,
they do.
no,
Do they not?
No, Level proper club.
Most
No.
venues
But I mean,
will serve food now.
we've just mentioned 2,
yeah.
and I could give you a list
Club.
of 80 bars.
Oh yeah, but
Do you know what I mean?
bars are
But it's
everything.
a different vibe though, because like this is the thing. When we first started, way back when, about 10 years ago.
13 for me. I feel very old.
Yeah, like DJs have always been a thing. Sax and a DJ. It was a little bit of a thing just out the 90s, kind of died off in the 2000s, and then sort of early 2010s, that's when it sort of came back, I would have thought.
Ah, yeah, the head candy era was the main era.
But then sort of early 2010s into the sort of 2020s where we're in now, it obviously got massively popular, percussion as well, of course, and like we rode the wave with it in a way.
Yeah,
you know,
unbelievable.
so you know, we had all the clubs coming after us, but now it's, you know, the club era is gone, and since everyone wants a sax player or everyone wants a percussionist, or you know, you drumming and Juniper and stuff like that, and all cover cats and all the rest of it.
But back in the day, like I remember speaking to TDL.
Yeah,
He just used to do clubs. That was it.
yeah.
Because you'd literally do
Well, that's the
4
only
or
thing you
5
could
sets
do.
Thursday, Friday,
Yeah,
Saturday,
Because
Sunday,
it wasn't a thing.
and it was obscure to do a
Yeah.
wedding.
Whereas
It's
now,
mad,
because
innit?
everyone wants it,
Yeah.
it's like you can.
Everyone wants a club instead of a. Everyone wants like a club night at the wedding instead of a wedding,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
obviously why we're in work.
I will say though, this is a bit of a sort of odd curveball, really. I think because it's been, it's just boomed in popularity. I think like, even though everybody wants it, and we'll always, we're very fortunate to still be in work and still like have jobs and gigs to go to. Like we're doing 4 or 5 a week now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know when the popularity will go, because I have seen a lot of people. We actually had this the other day, where some people are resenting specifically sax, not so much percussion
I
now.
think the way that the industry's going now, because I'm not taking the piss out of certain venues, but you get the likes of like the saxophone and percussion used to be reserved for the high-end venues because the venues didn't have the budget to do it.
Yes.
However, now because of the popularity and
They're making
the
more
amount
budget.
of people that are now doing it, and to be fair, a lot of them are good, most of them are shite who are doing the sax, but they're doing it for like 100 and 150
Yeah,
quid.
they're trying to. The
It's
thing
just
is,
saturating the market massively. However, I think that there's still going to be the market for us sitting at the topper end. And then
experienced.
yeah, and then I think the lower market of like your 150, 200 quid sax players is going to die out because
But
venues aren't going to book them anymore.
But hang on, 150 to 200 pound for a gig is actually incredibly good for a musician.
Depends on the gig.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Well,
If
no,
I'm
no,
driving to Aberdeen playing 8
No,
hours
no.
and then driving back, I ain't doing it for 150
No,
quid.
I meant like a local gig.
yeah.
I meant like a local gig. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? If it was like on your doorstep.
Oh, yeah, if
you know.
I had a conversation with somebody from one of my old lecturers, put me in contact with him today, and he's just starting out, so he wanted a bit of advice. And I said, mate, just go network, do whatever. If you can get 150 on a Friday, 200 on a Saturday, you're laughing.
This
Yeah.
is the
As
thing.
And
a
also, just-
19-year-old DJ who's never DJ before, I was like, you need to go
Well, you
cool
need the
somewhere.
experience to build up. You know, we've got decades worth of it now. We've probably got, realistically, about 35 years between us of experience.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Jesus.
mad when you think
And
about it.
also, like, but we were just talking about then gigs where we're doing it for like 50. I remember graduating, and my only gig was a guaranteed residency for £50 a week every Saturday, and I left uni thinking I'm only technically making £200 a gig.
Oh, yeah,
well,
well
a
done.
month.
Well,
I
I
used to do
remember-
a Saturday night for 100 quid. 6 hours.
And do you know
and
what-
it was R&B when I didn't play R&B.
Wow.
I remember when Greg and I left uni, I moved back in with my mum down south, and Greg was still in Liverpool. Long story short, I came back up to Liverpool because I tried to crack London, couldn't, so I came back to Liverpool. So I, knew what I was getting myself in for. So Greg and I ended up moving in together as flatmates. And I remember we used to go, and like about this time, about May, June time, we'd go, how much have you earned this month?
Yeah.
And it'd be, and it would be, I don't know, however much it was. And we'd be like, bloody hell, we're balling. Let's go.
I remember by the way, those 4 years or 3 years in that flat, What an
Carnage.
incredible time. What an incredible
Yeah.
time, us two, right?
Fresh out of uni.
And I think it was, just to make rough figures, I think our rent was about £400 a month each.
Yes, it
and
was.
we were earning about 1,200 quid a month each.
Yeah.
And all we had to worry about was fuel in
Just
our cars,
paying the rent.
beer in the fridge, food in the fridge, going out having a nice time. Fresh out. We were
Yeah.
23.
Yeah.
We had about £800 a month each fun money.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful time.
Yeah.
It was great.
It was a
really
wonderful
cool.
time. Obviously, it lasted 3-4 years. It was fantastic. It needed to move on financially and everything, but what a time.
And the thing is, at
What
the time,
a
at the
time.
time,
I'm reminiscing. What a bloody time.
What a good old
at,
knees up.
at the time as well, like you could sustain. You can't anymore, but you could sustain yourself on like 1,200 quid a month.
Easy.
So like for us, we were like, flipping
Each.
heck, like we're doing what 2 gigs a week, 3 at a push at that
Yeah.
time.
Do you remember when we weren't
Well,
allowed
they need to be on
pets?
100 quid a gig.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, you're laughing.
Fine.
yeah.
We weren't allowed pets, and I got a friend, and she had to go and see her mum who was in hospital, and I was like, she had a sausage dog, and I was like, mate, I'll have your sausage dog for 2 days. They fined me 50 quid a day for
Yeah.
the sausage dog, and I just laughed. I was like, that's
I'm balling, mate.
I was
I've got
100 quid, mate. I had a sausage dog for 2 days. Screw you. Pay it. I'll pay you. Don't care.
I had
It
to
was.
do you remember when they barricaded my car in?
Oh yeah, he got so many parking tickets in his own parking space because
Yeah.
he didn't park in the lines.
Greggy, will you wrap us up?
Thank you for tuning in. I hope you've had a lovely time. That's been a story. We've got another one coming up, and I'll see you when I see you.
Peace, love, and harmony, everybody.
Peace, love, and harmony.
Bye.